video. Our goal is to learn how to look at the relationship between one numerical variable and one categorical variable. To illustrate how to analyze one numerical variable versus a categorical variable, I have an example here that talks about county data set, and in particular, we are looking at a total of 150 counties, and we have divided this 150 counties into 100 which have recorded a population gain from the year 2010 to 2017, and we are looking at how much is the median household income in this 100 counties that have recorded population gain. Here are the values of the median income in each of those counties, or in each of the 100 counties. And in 50 counties where there has been no population gain, we've also recorded data, numerical data, on the median income in each of those counties. So, do we think there is a relationship between the median income and whether there has been a population gain or not? So the categorical variable here is whether there has been a population gain or not, and the numerical variable is the median income. Well, one way to quickly begin to visualize the insights in this data set is to either construct a side-by-side box plot, side-by-side box plot, which we can see in the plot above, or a hollow set of histograms which are overlapping one another. Now, so we have built a box plot for those who had population gain. Here it is. And for those counties that had no population gain, here's a box plot of median household income in those counties. What does this show us? We can immediately tell that it appears that the median household income in counties with no population gain appears to be lower on average as compared to those who have what population gain. But in particular, since we have outliers, we're going to look at the median values. So we can tell that the median household what income in counties which gain population is definitely higher than the median household income in counties that did not see any gain. So the orientation here is from bottom up. The higher up the median is, the higher the median household income. On the other hand, if we're using hollow histograms, we can also extract similar insights. So we have the histogram for those counties that have seen a population gain, and we can see that from left to right in that orientation, they are a little bit more further ahead than those counties with no gain, which is the red one. So we can readily tell that the insight from here is that on average, that counties that have seen population gain seems to have what a higher median household income. All right, now we have seen already made pictures. How about we make one ourselves? So a bakery tracks sales of different bread products on a daily basis, and the data for 22 consecutive days at one of its retail outlets are provided in the accompanying table. We have to calculate the mean, the mode, the median for each of the bread categories and write a short report that describes this data. You have to use charts or graphs that may be useful in fully describing the data, and to also include a box and whisker plot comparing all categories of breads. So how might we write a short report? Here is a template of how we can write a short report. But before we do, let's eyeball the data set, the raw data set. So here's a raw data set for 22 days for the number of white bread sold, the number of multi-grain bread sold, and black bread sold. And our interest is to calculate the mean, the mode, and the median of each of these types of bread. So what we can do to do that is we go to StatCrunch, go to statistics. We like summary statistics because we are trying to condense many data values into single values. These values are recorded in columns. So we go to columns and we're going to choose, let's see, we want white, multi-grain, and black. And we like to compute the mean. And back to the question, we also like to compute the mode and the median. So we can do that. Let's see, we have the median, and then lastly, we want also the mode for each of these. So we're going to compute, and I have what? Those values provided here. Okay, so as it stands, we have those data values. One has no mode. So if you go back, I can complete this that the median quantity for white bread is 599.7. The mode is 508 and 820, whereas the median is 578.5. Then the mean quantity of multigrain bread is 470.5. The mode, it has no mode. The median, however, is 429. The mean of black bread is 382. The mode, many mode, you have 310, 254, and 341. And then the median is 363. Now, this is a good, reasonable report. Then we're also to create a box and whisker plot comparing the quantity of different breads sold. So one of the things to do that, we can go to StatCrunch. I'll close out of this, and then I'll go to Graph, go to Box Plot, and I'm going to indicate that I want to draw the box plot of 3 columns, which is white, multi-grain, and black. And I would like to draw the boxes horizontally. I'll prefer that. I like to see the median values. And in particular, I would like to change the number of rows per page to 3. What does that imply? When I draw it, you'll be able to see what I mean. So I'm going to drag up and compute. Now, this is saying I want 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, all on one page. And this is 1 column. Okay, so let's see. We can readily tell from this visualization that white sold the most. Looking at the orientation from left to right, white sold the most, followed by multi-grain, then lastly by what? Black. Then from the box plots, we can tell that the distribution of white bread is approximately symmetric, about similar spread on either side of the median. But for multi-grain, we can see that it is significantly right skewed. So we can see a longer tail to the right than to the left. Whereas for black bread, this is approximately symmetric, about symmetric. So we're going to key that in here, right here, the report of what I've drawn. So we can see that the order of bread sold from least to greatest, black was the least sold, then followed by multi-grain bread according to this data set, then white bread, and then the distribution of black bread is approximately symmetric, and the distribution of black bread is approximately symmetric. So is that of white bread, also approximately symmetric. But that of multi-grain bread is significantly right skewed. That brings us to the end of Unit 2.